Quack. Quack. 12 and... I am your host, Adam Jamil.
And I'm Aaron Schroeder.
That's right. This is the Quack 12 podcast, the most official, unofficial Oregon Ducks podcast on the web footosphere. And Aaron, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about these Ducks. Let me just start there, baby.
Well, how many games did you watch?
How many games did I watch? I watched 3, count them, 3 total Duck games.
I watched 5. Suck on that.
How the hell did you watch 5?
Because I was catching up from when I was gone last week. And so I watched games from December 1st until yesterday.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good. Look at you doing your homework, baby. Because you were sick.
Got a weird stomach bug.
Mm-hmm.
Literally lasted. It lasted like 24 hours, maybe.
It lasted almost as long as that empty pause just right there between us. Aaron, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad that bug is dead inside you and that you, the human that sustained it, are thriving. You're looking great. Thriving, baby. Anyone who sees us on the YouTube, on the Quack 12 YouTube, you can see we are looking fantastic. Hot as hell, some would say.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching is seeing Aaron do some pretty funny stuff. So that's a plug for all you watchers out there. But listeners, we got a great show. I swear we won't be doing stuff that you can't see anymore. A lot has happened since we've last talked. Last week we had James Voss. We talked about a couple of good games.
I missed it. And I was so pissed.
I know. You were almost there, but we had a couple of rough or a couple of good games actually. But for the men's, yeah.
Before we get into officially talking about sports, I have a couple of updates.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1.
Yes.
Those faithful few out there who have listened to us forever,
mm-hmm.
you will remember that in the not so distant past,
mm-hmm.
I created a formula called 1 point per minute.
That's true.
And then I set to prove that this is possible by Adam, myself, recreating said formula.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, there will be a video package that will be me showing you how possible it is to create scenarios in which 1 point can be made per minute.
Basically, Aaron recorded him shooting some shots, and we're going to check his percentage. You can only talk shit. We established you can only talk shit to the Duck basketball players that shoot worse than you in a given game.
Correct.
Which I'm excited to see how that pans out. Another thing I'm excited to pan out that I'm about to gotcha journalism you.
Oh, shit.
How are those mugs doing that are going out to the people that sent us the dog pics?
That was the second update. Thank you for bringing that one up. I have sourced the website that I want to use to build it.
Okay.
And they should hopefully be arriving around Christmas. It seems like the worst time of year to maybe try and ship something out. So I'm definitely not going to ship it the expensive way. It's going to be the free way, which probably is going to be very slow.
Yeah, that's fair. That's nice to hear.
But they are coming. I've found the spot. I've designed them, and I'm just trying to figure out if it's smarter to have them all come to me, or and then I send them out directly, or if it's more logical to just ship them individually.
Well,
because then I'd be placing a lot more orders on this website because it'd be like specific mugs going to places.
Yeah, that's a good point. What it all comes down to is you're a man of your word. You said if someone sent a picture of their adopted dog within the week span that you would send them a Quack 12 mug.
Yeah.
And for a second there, our DMs kind of blew up, and I was worried that you were about to have to send $200. Because if you remember, on the day I was saying, like, Aaron, do not promise this. Do not promise this. So I'm glad it wasn't too outstanding. And what a Santa Claus you are.
Look,
Aaron, yeah.
I'm willing to do it for the team.
Do it for the team.
Obviously, if it got too out of hand, I'd be like,
psych.
If there's this amount of motherfuckers out there who want this level of free shit, they can go sign up on our Patreon for $5 a month.
Hey, if you want some free shit, you can pay us.
No, it's a handful of people. It's super sweet. You cannot submit. Nobody submit any more photos because the doors are closed. So yeah, the website looks good. The thing that I get concerned about with all of these companies, though, is that I've seen mugs, the decals like wash away when you put them in a washing machine.
You never said it was going to be a good mug. Let's get that real.
Well, I don't want it to be a shit ass mug.
Well, I'll allow it. That's what I'll say. Oh boy!
All right, it's just going to be a mug from Amazon that says "#1 Dad."
If you want quality content like this, please go over to our Patreon for $5 measly a month. You can listen to great series like Quackin' Time, in which we break down every single Oregon football season year by year with an individual episode. We also break down some huge historic games. We got some fun stuff up there, some fun videos, whole bunch of content. Also, while I got you here plugging away, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a little comment. Helps out so damn much. Aaron, we got a lot of news. We got a whole lot of Duck news. You want to start? Well, let's start with the portal. I wish we had a portal sound. I don't know, some kind of like ominous swoosh kind of thing. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it in post. Maybe I'll forget. Something like that. That'll do. Okay, that's the portal. Aaron, a lot of Ducks have left. Let me tell you that. Like, a whole bunch of Oregon football players have ditched this team.
Oh, now, we're talking foosball.
We're talking foosball a little bit before we get into Quacksetball.
Okay.
Now, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. Some of it is like, that hurts. But some of it was really expected. In order for us to bring in the recruiting class that we've already got, right, we needed about 13 people, give or take, to get off this team. Like, to hit the bricks, you know what I mean? We only got so many scholarships. So a normal amount of turnover, you know, like, that's fair. I would say we have lost a few key players who would have likely been starters, or if not starters, had quite a bit of playing time this next season. Those ones do hurt. But I just wanted to do a little tally here, kind of a sayonara to a lot of these players. Now, one of the biggest ones, this is, well, I don't even know quite what order I should do this in, but let's just do with kind of a headliner here. Justin Flo, linebacker Justin Flo, was a 5-star recruit. You know, I believe was our second highest rated recruit of all time behind the one and only Kayvon Thibodeau. Justin Flo, who earned, I mean, he played in 10 games, 35 tackles, 2.5 for a loss this season. He's out. He transferred out. Now, it's that kind of thing where it's like, our defense was pretty fucking bad this year. Yeah. He was a starter. I don't think you can circle him and be like, yes, it was all on Flo. But a lot of
I remember seeing him have key, crucial moments.
Absolutely. There was times where, I mean, you cannot say this dude is not an absolute athlete, has phenomenal, just checking a lot of the box of what you want with a linebacker. Mainly the problem was being out of position, you know, like not reading what the offense is going to be doing, you know, like getting to a spot too early kind of stuff. Stuff that, who knows, could have been settled next year. But as of now, he will no longer be a Duck. Now
Whose
I'm going to
choice
try
was
to
that?
for him, for Flo. I mean, I think it's a combination of things. Which Flo is like, you most likely would have been a starter next season. I think that's
Right.
safe to say. But it's possible that Dan Lanning maybe, I doubt it, but gave him a little bit of a like, you're probably going to be a starter, but I can't guarantee that. I'm going for other linebackers in this recruiting class, and it may be a real competition. My guess is when you've already got a starting spot like that, it's probably Flo being like, I want to check something out. Check some other schools out. He's been here 3 years. 2 of those years were, injury riddled. Like the first year he didn't see any time. Second year he saw 1 game. So, he probably just wants a breath of fresh air. Don't really blame him on that front. He could go play for USC, live in LA. He can go play for Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime over at Colorado.
Oh wow, he went to Colorado?
Yeah, Deion Sanders. See, we didn't talk about this last week. He is the coach at Colorado, and he's making some big waves already.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I know a lot of people are kind of like fucked up about it or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's getting so much hype, and I think Colorado will immediately be better. But but I think other people are saying like they're going to compete for the Pac-12 immediately, and it's like, not with that roster, not with one season off season of roster turnover.
I thought people were being negative towards him, and I'm like,
I mean, some of them aren't. I'll tell you this: he went, and this is kind of like, there's different ways to look at it. I don't think it's that bad, but it is kind of a stark reality here. He went, there's a video of him talking to the Colorado locker room, gets in there, and immediately he says basically look, some of you are going to need to hit the transfer portal because this team sucked last year, and a big part of that is because of the people in this locker room. So some of you got to go because I got players that are going to come in, and I know they're ready to play, including his son, who he said, my son's going to be starting quarterback. He's going to have to earn the position, but he's going to be starting quarterback, which is kind of fair because it's like on paper, his son is better than any of the 3 quarterbacks that played for Colorado, but it's also kind of, I could see how that rubbed people the wrong way. But he's also being realistic. He's being like, some of you got to go. I want this team to be good. Y'all suck. I don't know what to say.
Look, he's a smart enough man to understand that you can be nepotistic and have it be that way because that's the best quality product.
Yeah, no, I do think it's that. But, so that's what Dan Lanning's kind of going through right now.
Right.
We've got so many players in the portal. I'm just going to kind of shout them out to you. So Justin Flo's brother, Jonathan Flo, defensive back, has not actually played. J Flo? J Flo, J Flew. He flew. There you go. I was trying to think of it. That's great. Flew the coop. Has not actually played a game for us, but still, defensive back is certainly a position need for us. This is a tough one. Tight end Maliki Matavau had some really good plays this season. I mean, we had some really good play out of the tight end unit, certainly in the first half, quite a bit. He's a good catch. He got 10 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown. Played in all 12 games. Is especially a good blocker. He's gonna go be a starter somewhere.
Wow.
So that's rough. Our tight end room, the group is still really good. We still got Patrick Herbert, Terrence Ferguson. We still got some good prospects there. Sean Dollars is, we were really excited for him early. He's been on the team since 2019. Played in 12 games, supposedly. I barely remember him. 34 rushes for 188 yards, 1 touchdown. He just wasn't earning the touches behind, Bucky Irving was just doing so good that you couldn't not give him the ball. And then Noah Whittington, those were just clearly Dillingham in Lanning's guys, and he just wasn't making the cut.
I don't know. Dollars seem to show up a lot.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like, these aren't bad players. I think a lot of times it's just like, well, Lanning is like, well, these two running backs, I went out and got these guys because I like the way they play. They fit my style, what I want to do. And not that Sean Dollars doesn't, but he just for whatever reason, and so
something weird about the fact. Is there something weird going on about the fact that coaches can just trade other humans back and forth and disrupt lives like that?
That's the question, right? Well, we're not. I like the transfer portal that it's so open more because back in the day, someone like a Sean Dollars, it would just be like, no, dude, you're stuck here. Unless if you do want to transfer, you're going to have to wait. And then once you're able to, you may have to wait 1 year to play at your new school.
Yeah.
And he would be trapped in Eugene. As opposed to now, the same situation happens where like Lanning's being like, you're not going to play, basically. Or you're not going to be a guaranteed starter, that's for sure. And Sean Dollars can now go anywhere else. A bunch of people who are eager to have him play. He can go anywhere where he's wanted, which is a lot of places. And actually
theoretically enhance his chances of getting paid to do this professionally.
Absolutely.
Which comes with the reality check that, hey, if you go up to the pros, guess what you're probably going to be doing every few seasons for the first 10 years of your life.
Exactly. I mean, it does change college football. Like it used to be like, you're going to this school. You're going to this school for 4 years or 3 years if you end up going to the NFL. And that's your lot
which
in life.
I also liked because then you choose which school.
You choose, but what if after year one, especially because like these coaches, like they'll say anything to you, especially the ones that are like shittier human beings. They will promise you that you will be a starter. And then when you get on, they'll be like, oh shit, no, you're not
third.
You are third. You will never see the field. You are practice. Even if you
just go Rudy on their asses.
And they'll be like, yeah, I don't like your attitude. No.
Yeah, now you're fourth. Congratulations.
No, yeah, you may be Rudy, as in they put you in one play.
Right.
And so this is giving you the opportunity to actually go compete and be. I mean, Bo Nix. Bo Nix would have been forced to play for Auburn. Instead, he comes and plays for us and is amazing. So I think it's like the system is still fucked up, but I think the transfer portal, even though it hurts your heart to see Travis Dye go play for USC, like he had a great season despite the injury at the end. But like I don't know. It's I think it's good for the players overall. Like a Sean Dollars, especially, who it's like, you are a talented dude. Or like I'm going to the next one here. Linebacker Jabril McNeil. Like he was promising. He only played in 3 games this year though. Only in garbage time. He can go play for a Nevada or something and be a starter right then and there. Have a great season.
Yep.
Possibly get drafted off of it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where, it hurts me less when, again, I'm going to shout out someone else here. Linebacker / tight end Terrell Tillman played in 1 game this year, 0 stats. Last year he played in like 14 games though. So this is the other thing is like with head coaches.
It seems like Lanning has a pretty clear fucking picture of what this team's supposed to be.
Exactly. Well, and I think the same thing happened to Quacksetball, same thing happened to all these coaches, is you get there, you have something that you want to do, but in year one, you've got all these players that may not fit your system, and in year one, it's like someone who was playing all the time, they may not even have a position, because like the position may be gone. It may be like, no, we don't use that particular kind of nickel. We prefer this front instead. So your position doesn't even exist anymore. And so with so many head coaches constantly changing and stuff like that, I think that you just have to have this transfer portal. Because
shout out to all those coal miners out there.
Exactly.
Your position is no longer required.
Yeah, no joke. Terrell Tillman, so he's gone,
Wow.
Brandon Buckner, he was a defensive end, played in 0 games this year. Again, it's just like you're giving these people an opportunity. Not only that, though, if you want to be selfish about it, you're giving Dan Lanning an opportunity to get specifically the people that he wants, that he thinks will really benefit his system. Because our defense was complete trash, as the Beavers proved, and many teams proved. And he's a defensive-minded coach, supposedly. So maybe it's just a matter of personnel.
So then it really was the fact that our offensive coordinator was just that gifted at reading what to do in the future.
I think
kept
our
us alive.
I mean, I think our offense was certainly keeping us alive, not our defense. We had some talent, but I mean, on a play-by-play basis, we were just letting them.
I guess I just
blow
watched
past
the game.
us.
I remember it so differently. I feel like, I guess because we were good at scoring, it just naturally felt like the defense was also good, but they did let teams score a bit.
They would let teams score specifically a lot in the latter portions of the game.
Yeah.
And, whether it was a close game or not, it was usually late. Our defense was kind of melting. Not always. Sometimes they would, shore up. But I think that really adds to just, maybe the first string defense, Lanning liked what he saw. Second string, it's just clearly it wasn't working.
Oh, well, here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
How many total transfers were there?
As of right now, I think we're up to, I don't have the exact number. I think we're up to 14 or 15 people out. But we're starting to get players in. How many of those are
defense?
Well, the majority of them, I would say. Let's go through this list really quick, too, because this could take forever. So, linebacker Jackson LeDuc, a player who actually hit that they really loved as an outside linebacker that with just real elite speed. But in this game, this season, he did play in 12 games, 13 total tackles. He's out. Bram Walden, offensive lineman. This one hurts because we're going to be replacing a good chunk of our offensive line. So any kind of, player with some, I don't know, some kind of veteran. I mean, he's a sophomore now, but no 2 games, no stats because we had a really sure offensive line, so he didn't get all that much play. But even in, I don't know. Edge Braden Swinson, this blows. Braden Swinson actually was probably our best edge rusher, and that's what we desperately needed. I mean, our pass rusher was not good. That was a huge problem for us, as we couldn't get to the quarterback. So you could say losing our best edge rusher when we weren't good at it. Well, Brandon Dorless, I should say, actually was, but Braden Swinson was pretty damn good. And he's gonna go play on a different team. QB Jay Butterfield.
Oh wow, okay.
I mean, sure. I liked him, but at the same time, it was that thing we were talking during the year where it was like, go be on another team, man, because you're not gonna play on this team. If you can't beat Ty Thompson for playing time, who. I mean, we don't need to talk shit about Ty Thompson, but he ain't QB1 for a reason, that's for sure. But he was QB2. Jay Butterfield rarely, if ever, saw the field. He played in 1 game, threw 1 pass for 1 yard this season. Last year, he played in 1 game, threw 3 passes and completed 2 passes. It's just
those are better stats than Thompson had.
Oh, well, sure. But
Especially when you come out onto the field and the first pass you throw is like an interception.
Yeah.
Bye.
And with possibly Dante Moore coming in, a highly regarded freshman recruit,
Oh.
And maybe Bo Nix returning. We still don't know. But
really?
Maybe Bo Nix returning. Who knows? He's playing in the bowl game.
Year.
Well, he's playing in the bowl game, which typically means it's like if you're prepping for the NFL, you should be like, unless it's the national championship, unless it's a playoff or the Rose Bowl, you should be like, oh, I'm not playing in this bowl game because what if I get hurt and ruin my entire future?
he needs to play the bowl game because he needs to show that the injury he got that seemingly
Is
hindered
gone.
the remainder
Yeah.
of our season as a offensive threat. He needs to show that shit is back.
That's the possibility, my man.
That's
we'll
what
see
it is.
happens.
It's fucking entertainment politics, my guy. The
Well,
whole thing is so ridiculous.
It could be either way. It's like yeah. Hopefully, it'd be nice if he stayed. Because the other thing is, if he's not gonna go super high in the draft, then with the NIL deals and shit like that, it may behoove you just to stay in college one more year, be on hopefully a really good team, especially in your second year in it, get some money through NIL, and then go get some more money in the NFL the year afterwards. But that didn't seem his MO when he got here.
Take that NIL money and just save it because maybe you're not going to the NFL.
That too, man.
Put that shit in a savings account.
Okay, here we go. Byron Cardwell, another running back who was very promising, especially in 2021. I mean, played in 12 games, 61 rushes, 417 yards, 3 touchdowns. Looked good. This year, he only played in 2, and we really didn't see him after a while, like on the field at all. And it just felt very obvious that he was going to transfer. Same deal with Seven McGee. It just felt like, okay, obviously Seven McGee's gone, and he is. Dante Thornton, that was a tough one because he was like our second best, I would say, receiver outside of the slot anyways. Like Chase Cota was amazing. Chris Hudson was amazing. Obviously, Troy Franklin was our number 1 target. Dante Thornton was a good number 2, though. He is gone. That does hurt, but in a position where we could lose, some talent. Those are basically the ones moving out. That's quite a bit. Mainly on defense is where we're mainly hurt, I would say. Outside of that, though, we are finally starting to see some players enter the program, which is nice. From Iowa. Iowa is a very good defensive school, terrible offensive school. Truly, just a one-sided team. Their linebacker, who I'm hearing really good things about, he was hurt a lot last season, and he's behind like a star player, so he didn't get a ton of playing time, But he is transferred to Oregon, Justin Jacobs.
Oh, I know that name.
Oh, well, there you go. Justin Jacobs coming over. I'm pretty excited about him. Other than that, we've started to, offer some. Actually, former Alabama wide receiver Trayshawn Holden, he has visited Eugene. We'll see what happens, dude. Like, we may be in line for some good transfer players soon, especially with the amount that have left. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We're going to wait for some to declare for the draft as well. That will open up some more space. So it's not all doom and gloom. We've lost some players. We lost some players that we definitely wanted to keep. But we also lost some players that weren't going to get playing time, weren't even going to get like late game playing time and blowouts. So it's like, yeah, the best thing for you is to go play somewhere else.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's just so hard for me to wrap my head around how you can love a team and at the same time be fine with replacing any aspect of it.
Oh, I get it, man. Well,
you know what I mean? It's kind of like if the ship sets sail in England, but every part of it is changed before it docks in New York, is it a different ship in New York?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
I get what you mean, dude. And
there's supposed to be this emotional relationship. But you know what I mean? But it's hard to have that when it's always changing. You become Hythloday.
I get you, man.
And you just have to like ones and zeros this shit.
Well, let me tell you, dude. Let me put it in a term that you may understand a little bit more. I mean, it's unfortunate that this college football going through an existential crisis right now is what used to make the sport great is that it's like, no, it's all about players. It's not a professional game. These are students representing their school. But,
What's
there was
business?
It's business. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to pro. We have playoffs now. We're going to have a multi-team playoff eventually, which is going to make the bowl games more and more pointless, more and more useless. It'll just be about the playoffs. We've got more and more players, like you got a free agency basically. Yeah. But let me tell you this, man. Like, I think the way to look at it is you got to love the team, not necessarily the players, but also you got to look at it like, hey, how do you feel about Bobby Wagner, my man? You're a Seahawks fan. Bobby Wagner ain't on that team. When you see Bobby Wagner play for the Rams, though, you still love the guy, don't you? You're not pissed at him, are you?
I'm a little beefed. Here's the problem, is that I'm beefed at him. Because this motherfucker, he changed. He's mean. I'm also miffed at
He wasn't
Sherman.
mean when he was on the Seahawks?
But he was, but it was a group effort. They weren't mean. They were like intimidating. Now it's just shit talking. And Richard Sherman is just, I don't know. Maybe it's different because he's not on my team. Yeah, I'm miffed when they leave because that's professional. They're doing it for money reasons.
Well, they are.
Or some kind of politics.
Even in college.
It's all politics for
it's
sure.
It's the exact. No, it's money. He wanted to go get more money. And they didn't want to pay him,
Yeah.
Prime Bobby Wagner.
Dude, I don't think.
They're doing it the same in college. Even before NIL, even before they were able to pay players, were still moving for money, for the hope that they get money by playing at a different school, that they'll get to the NFL. Yeah. Like Russell Wilson, went from, I think, NC State to Wisconsin because he wanted, he wanted a bigger opportunity. He wanted to get to the NFL, and he got to the NFL because of it.
And now he's going to retire on the Denver Broncos.
I know. Well, that's a bad example because him on the Denver Broncos has been the greatest, schadenfreude as a Seahawks fan. But
yes,
I will say this too.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah,
I will say, I want to give out a professional football theory, which is that I think whenever homeboy died, what was his name?
Are you talking about Mike Leach? Who are you talking about?
No, the billionaire. Seattle.
Paul Allen, yeah.
Thank you. When Paul Allen died, I believe it was his daughter. Somebody in the family now controls the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're treating it like they treated any other aspect of Paul Allen's massive, creation, they are just stripping it for parts. So I don't think the Seahawks have a lot of anything. It's going to be...
Bro, you kidding me? They got Geno Smith, baby. That's who I'm...
Dude, saving grace, but no, we're going to be bad.
Too much Seahawks talk. Back to the Ducks.
Sorry.
Oregon Ducks just hired an offensive coordinator that I'm actually pretty excited about. Now, once again,
our guy left.
Our guy left. He's coaching at Arizona State now.
Right.
Now,
butthead.
This guy, Will Stein, from
I know that name.
University of Texas, San Antonio. Roadrunners. Beep, beep. Or, sorry, meep, meep, motherfucker, as they say. The Roadrunners have come out of nowhere the last couple of seasons and have just been a very exciting offense. They're just put up 1,000,000 yards. Just get some real good skill talent. And, eventually we're going to get, Hithloday will do a much better job of breaking down what he sees Will Stein doing. But I'll tell you the thing that's getting some people excited is his basic philosophy, which a lot of people will say this kind of shit. It's just coach talk. But something that's getting some Duck fans excited is that a big philosophy of this guy is he's saying, keep it simple, stupid. Get the ball into the hands of your best players as many times as you can. That is it. Which it's a lot more complicated than that, but a lot of times it's as simple as that, I
was about to say, because if that's your philosophy and then your opponent discovers that, oh shit, this dude's only got 2 good players, Just stay on those two guys.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the idea. And
You've been defeated, sir.
Well, the idea is you can maybe mix it up. We'll see what happens. I mean,
we're going to see what happens.
All these players say these coaches say these things, and then when it comes down. But I'll tell you this, it's always a good sign. You want to go look at the other team that you're stealing their coordinator or whatever. You want to look and be like, are they upset? Or are they like good riddance? Like, fuck that guy. Good riddance. I don't know why I said riddance. Good riddance. Peace. Sayonara. People, they are overwhelmingly, the fan base for the Roadrunners is like, you hired a good one. Good job. Sorry to see him go, but I'm glad to see him take the next step up. Which is what you want to see. I mean, I think people are going to be excited.
Okay.
He seems to have some good experience. I thought it was a good hire, honestly. And I want to say,
this is what it is. It's not about your team, Adam. It's about the game. We're celebrating the game of football here. So wherever a player goes, whether they're on your team or not, we should be celebrating their ability to continue to try and be their best, right?
Whatever. Sounds like hippie shit to me, but whatever.
And we'll just say we represent the Oregon Ducks gang.
Aaron, we don't have enough time for this. We got to go to our next segment.
I know. Football is supposed to be quick. I really elongated the fuck out of that.
Here we go. Quacksetball. 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 That is right. It is Quacksetball. We only got 2 games actually to cover. Both teams only played 1 since we've been gone. Both bangers though. Fantastic games, I gotta say. The first, fantastic if you're a Duck fan. First one actually was the Civil War. Oh, sorry. The game formerly known as that was the Platte. We had the Platte here. Oregon versus Oregon State women's basketball. That is always very intense. Even if the Beavers are down, they're still good. They weren't really that down. Mm-hmm.
How many games have we won, Adam, to this point? And how many did they won?
Women's, we won 7, and they lost, and we've lost 1. But they came into this one 6 wins, only 2 losses. So, they're not a bad team. They're still good. They've had some turnover, but they're doing pretty well. And this game started off strong for the Ducks, but then second quarter, third quarter, Beavers really rallied back. I will say, so the absolute star, specifically for the Ducks, India Rogers, absolutely killed it. She got Pac-12 honors.
Yep.
Just was amazing. 36 minutes played in this game. She was, honestly, it was a really poor shooting night for the Ducks, or shooting day. I forget exactly what time this was. I'm pretty sure it was kind of night. But yeah, India Rogers, though, absolutely killed it. She scores 34 points in this game. Like nearly half of our points was 10 of 18 from the floor, 6 of 10 from 3-point range. Started off with, I believe, like an air ball, to start it off. But then she was just draining the threes, which was really good because our other guards straight up, I would say, had a bad game. Like, no other real way to put it. Pow Pow was 4 of 15. She did get 12 points, but she was just off. 2 of 7 from 3-point range. Chance Gray started out strong shooting 3. Finished 50%, 3 of 6, so not bad. But 3 of 10 from the floor. Filipina Che had a rough outing, 1 of 5. Grace Van Sluten started off strong, 3 of 9. But finished off 3 of 9. So, it really was India Rogers just being like, get on my back, we're doing this thing.
Well, it's funny, too, this whole thing, because now it seems like it's, I don't know if it's always been there, but it seemed very prominent. I guess we're in that part of the season where this talk becomes the prominent thing, which is we're choosing our leaders.
Yeah, right.
And it's
Well,
funny because it seemed like with the women's team, they were really trying to say, I feel like I've heard 3 or 4 different names now have been the real leaders of this team.
yeah. I think Pow Pow and Rogers are clearly like one of those players needs to be going off.
They
You
wanted
know?
it to be Pow Pow real bad.
Well, as long as it's someone, like as long as someone is keeping us is keeping the defense honest from deep and is a constant threat, then like both don't need to go off. I mean, if we're in the playoffs, if we're in March Madness, sorry, then yeah, we're probably going to need good games from both when we're going against the better teams. But like it just comes down to if both of them are having a bad game, then you're relying on like Chance Gray, a young player, you know. Or it's like one of the true, like Elise Hurst, who's a bench player, you know, like
what about Van Sluten? She's good.
Van Sluten's good, but she's not like she's a forward. Like she's not supposed to be taking the threes, you know?
Well, who gives a shit about the 3? Focus on just getting points.
I get that, but sometimes it's like, you know what's going to make it a lot easier to get points? Is if you hit a goddamn open 3. You know what I mean? It's not the most impossible feat. Like,
you know,
yeah.
When we get there, remind me to ask you one of the most important questions of all time about men's shooting 3-pointers.
Sure. Well, in this game overall, because I would say India Rogers really helped out, we shot 40% from 3-point range. That's great. If we keep that up all season, we're going to be a fantastic team. From the floor, we were only 36%, though. That's not great. That's not great. And that's because they were trying to take away, they wanted to take away Shea. They wanted to limit Van Sluten, and they wanted to force us to hit the 3. But we made them pay for it. Over on their side, they did have some good size too, and that really affected us. They were not shooting well from deep, but they were getting the easy buckets. They were especially getting the transition buckets, and that helped them like cut the lead and eventually take the lead. The thing that made me excited was that this team, when it really came down to it, when it was like, okay, there's like 7 minutes left, this is basically a tied game. This is you. Like this, we're in Eugene. This is a Pac-12 game. Like, are you gonna win this or not? The Duck defense did gel, even with some of the bench players coming out, and players like Rogers and Pow Pow did step it up when needed, and they got this win against a quality team. So that makes me very excited, quite frankly. I'm feeling good about the women's team. India Rogers, Pac-12 basketball player, women's basketball player of the week. Feeling good. I don't know what to say about that. I like that. If we're looking at the schedule coming up here, we're taking a break from Pac-12 play, which is weird. It's weird that we played one random Beaver, but whatever. We're going to be going against Eastern Washington. We should be a heavy favorite there on the 15th. On the 18th, College of Charleston in Eugene. That should be just a practice, basically.
Oh,
and then we got
boy, I hope you're not eating those words.
I mean, I don't even consider, if I wouldn't consider that a jinx. I would be like, oh, the team's bad if we lose them. That's not a jinx. That's on you, you know?
Yeah.
That's on them, I mean. But then we'll be joining the San Diego Invitational, which is a different tournament, which is another, at this point in the season, we're more gelled. The injuries, I mean, we're still waiting on Basham to heal up. But other than that, we're, knock on wood, relatively healthy. So I want to see us win that tournament, goddammit. That'd be great. Let's hop out. We're pretty tight on time, so let's hop right over to the men's team. Way to go, women's. Men's team, we played Nevada. Nevada was actually another one-loss team. Oh, sorry,
Yep.
2-loss team, just like the Beavers were. They're overall a pretty good team. Like, I'm not going to say they're like a powerhouse or anything, but they were certainly a team that could beat us. We've lost to worse. Yep. And right now we're a 5-loss team.
Yep.
Like, entered this, with under 500. shooting terribly overall.
Yep.
I mean, that game against UCLA, which UCLA is a good team.
I watched it.
It was a bummer, but it did, like, I was like, if this was our only loss or our second loss of the season, I would be like, I'm still feeling really good about this team. It's unfortunate it was our fifth loss, but, we melted at the end there, but I wasn't feeling terrible about that. Before we get into this next one, any thoughts on the UCLA game? You're just dying to get off your chest.
Just generalized thoughts of whatever I saw from the men's game, from the 3 that I watched. One, it was interesting to hear Bill Walton's theories about. I know this was a different game. Here's my general thoughts for the 3 games. Bill Walton's commentary about the California teams leaving the Pac-12 were interesting. And I would love to actually crunch numbers to see what the economic value is, how much they'll be spending versus how much extra they'll be making.
They'll be making so much fucking money, dude. It'll be worth it.
But are they spending more is the question. What's the offset? Okay. And then the other thing was maybe the men should stand a little bit closer to the 3-point line when they want to shoot a 3-pointer, because every time I was watching, it seemed like they were deciding to add like an extra 3 feet.
Those deep NBA threes.
It's like, dude, if you're standing on top of where the electrical outlet is for the PA whenever they do halftime shows, you're too far. Scoot in. Maybe make a couple more. You freaks.
Well, there you go. Ya freaks. Well, against Nevada, they heard your call. And also Will Richardson must have heard how much shit I was talking to him earlier.
He's a real leader.
Because he's a real leader. He got a goddamn triple-double.
He certainly did.
The men's team have not gotten, the women's team, that's like old hat. Fucking Ionescu had 26 career triple-doubles. But the men's team haven't had one since 2002. Old Luke Jackson.
Wow.
Famous Luke's. Yeah, dude, the record for career triple-doubles in men's was like 12 or something like that. I think it's less than that even.
We haven't the men's team
hasn't
had a player to get a triple-double since 2002.
Yeah.
20 fucking years.
Yeah, dude. Well,
wow. And
during that time, we have had absolute great players. Like we've had we've had teams that have gone to the Final Four, so it's not like we've had bad teams. It's just that, a triple-double is a pretty rare thing.
I guess I didn't realize that.
That's what makes Sabrina Ionescu so amazing. She got 26, dude. Like, it's insane. But in this, and it was really funny in this game, because, it was not a complete blowout. A lot of times the game was within 10 points against the Nevada Wolfpack. But at the same time, Oregon was in control just about this entire time. And you were on, because he had such an amazing first half. Like, he was not far off from the triple-double in the first half. He had already scored like 11 points, had like 8 rebounds, 7 assists, something like that. Yep. That pretty quickly it got to the point in the second half where it's like, oh, he needs 1 rebound. And that was like the main focus for the commentators. And there was points where Rivaldo soars, like, the ball falls to him on the defensive rebound, and his hands are up in the air. It's falling right in front of him because he wants Will Richardson to pick it up, because he wants him to get that triple-double, but it goes to the other team, that we were trying to force it, trying to get that triple-double. And it was really funny that in the last 30 seconds or so, it actually does happen to bounce to Will Richardson, and he's just barely able to get it under the wire. But other than that, you got to praise the dude. He had I would not say probably. This is the best game of his career. 19 points, 10 rebounds, I think 11 assists or so. For some reason, I don't have that on top of my head. But, 19 points, shot 4 of 7 from three-point range. Hell yeah, Will Richardson. Not only that, the funny thing is, you're like that kind of makes you forget that also I would say the second leader, because when you're saying leaders, you're really saying veteran players, veteran starters. So the other clear leader
good,
here, the other good player, Quincy Guerrier, got 26 points, 9 rebounds, and really the reason why Oregon just took control of this game, he hit 5 of 8 3-pointers. Dude got hot real quick, didn't cool down. Overall, we were 11 of 27 from three-point range, 40%, just like the women. That's great. And 45% from the floor. Can't ask
in the games that I watched, I can honestly also say Will Richardson was the one most talked about for being the person who needs to step up.
Yeah.
Guerrier seemed to be the name that Perrier, the sparkling one. He seems to be the one who was showing up in all 3 games. Like, they kept saying his name for doing something. It's like, maybe somebody needs to put the fucking fire to Will Richardson, and maybe Guerrier is doing that. Maybe they got a little Pippen Jordan thing going on.
Yeah, well, and I will say, like, Richardson has the last 3 games or so, 3 or 4 games, he has every single game gotten better and better and better, which is nice to see. And to be fair, like, there were times where Peyton Pritchard, we would be like, he ain't it, but then just rapidly improving. Dana Altman is a good coach. He does get players to play better. We are healing. It would be nice, I will say one thing that we could definitely improve on is my man, Brennan Rigsby, please hit a 3. I think he hit his first 3 this game. I can't really remember. He's 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 5
what number
from three-point range. Number 4. Smaller guy with good hops. He should be hitting the 3 because he's going to be open for him. Like I've liked his game, everything except for his shooting touch. If he comes alive in that regard, if he's just able to hit the 3 when he's completely open, if he goes 50% on those, the whole team can be unlocked. Same with if we just get healthier. If Kuznard and Keyshawn can get back in, which they should anytime now, suddenly we have a couple more guards who their strength just should be hitting the 3. So I don't know. I'm liking this team a lot. Dante played. He looked a little roughed up, but overall looked good. 11 points. One of my favorite players to watch, Khalil Ware, had one of his worst games, but luckily Luke Ware, he actually had one of his best games. I like that he was shooting the 3 too. I love a big man that is a confident 3-point shooter. You gotta love it, dude, because it always takes forever.
That's what one guy says.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so good. I love it. Overall, this is a really good outing for this team, especially like we're at the phase of just take it game by game. We're getting healthier. The chemistry's getting better. Most importantly, Will Richardson and Quincy Guerrier are just being what they have to be, which is sure presences on the court. And I'm liking that a lot. It's just fun when we got good basketball teams, God damn it. So I'm glad that we're getting into good territory for both of them. Up next, we got 3 cupcakes. Should be cupcakes. We've lost a cupcake before, so who knows. But UC Riverside comes to Eugene, Oregon. Then Portland comes to Eugene, Oregon. Then Utah Valley comes to Eugene, Oregon. Then we play the Beavs on the last day of this most terrible year. So there you go. I mean, I'm looking forward to all these games. I'm looking forward to these teams. The men's team is not perfect, but we're getting more and more. It looks like we're going to be competitive, which I'm excited about. And the women's team, we may have a special season. Who knows? Who knows? You know what I mean?
I have more faith in the women's team right now.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm curious to see, as Richardson gets progressively better, if he does get progressively better,
Yeah.
We're going to have to continually see him doing this thing. So it'll be interesting to see where his average kind of starts landing a bit more, if that makes sense.
For the listener at home, describe what you're doing.
Going up and down like this.
There you go. That's
like
great.
he has we've seen him underperform. We've now seen him perform well.
Yeah, he's not getting a triple-double
average
every night. Yeah.
Yeah, where is that average going to end up as he continues to find growth?
Absolutely.
Also,
Well, and I
like,
think
God, shouldn't he have done that last year? Why is he still doing that?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you this too. I think it's like because especially to start off the season, people knew our weakness, and we're also going like, who's their best player? It's either Dante, who's been off and on the court already, and they would double team him and take him away and force our guards to be the stars, and they were just falling short. Now, them stepping it up has really helped. Teams like UCLA, however, have also been like, okay, let's circle Will Richardson. Because if he's having a bad time, he's distributing the ball. That can, disrupt everything, and it has. But if he's playing at a really high level, then that's going to open it up for N'Faly Dante, Khalil Ware, hopefully Guerrier. So
interesting.
That's the goal. He truly is the key. He really is. More so than like women's team. I'm like, hey, we got a whole bunch of talent. Anyone can go off on any night. It's like between Rogers or Pow or Gray even. Who knows? Like Gray is really emerging. Or Van Saluten, not really a deep shooter, but can really go off. Is clearly an elite talent who's young. But for men's team, it really feels like we need Will Richardson to lead this team. It really, it's a crucial thing.
You used the word. You said it.
He's a leader, dude. I mean, I think Dana Altman.
You heard it here first, folks.
Dana Altman's system is a little more built around like one player being the brain of it, but also, and you saw this against Nevada, if they made a mistake, if they missed a shot, boom, we were on the other side of the court slamming it down.
Right.
Or Will Richardson was sprinting down the court and was, passing it out for a three or shooting a three himself. And I think that helped a lot. Now, Aaron, we've got a fun segment to end this all on.
Oh, shit.
Annual tradition. Not only is it the picks, but this is the Quack 12's Bowl Mania Bonanza.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
The pig.
The picks. Oh, that's
all right.
right.
We should probably do this lightning round, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We also don't have that many because it's just.
I'm going first. Damn it!
You're going first. That is right.
Yes.
The record is. This is a whole new ballpark, whole new game here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games to choose from. So let's start on December 17th in Las Vegas Bowl, the old Las Vegas Bowl.
Yeah, baby.
Oregon State, the team who kicked our ass, will take on Florida, the team who beat Utah so early in the season. This will be in Las Vegas, so home field advantage maybe for Oregon State. We are on the west side. Who are you going to choose there? You're going to choose the
Oregon
Thieves?
State.
Choose Oregon State.
I might end up picking the Pac-12 all the way. Let's find out.
Fair enough. And keep in mind, there's so many players where it's like their best players have left because they're going for the NFL or they're mainly because they're choosing the NFL, but also sometimes they transferred. So it's like, I don't want to play a bowl game for this team that I'm leaving. So who knows? It's a bunch of weird stuff. But you're going with Oregon State.
Yerp.
I'm gonna have to go with Oregon State as well, just because what I saw them do to us.
Bowl
Jimmy
games become irrelevant if half your team is not even there anymore.
True. A lot of the
if your coach is all of a sudden like, I'm going to Florida, you deal with it. It's like, why are we even doing a bowl game?
Like when we played against Oklahoma and just got our asses kicked last
It's like,
season.
why are we even doing? Can't we just
Why-
say no? We don't want to play this bowl game. Pick somebody else.
The good thing is you get some money and you get like a full 3 weeks or whatever of extra practice, and that really can help you. That's
I
like
think
the
in
actual
our
reason.
specific instance, we don't really need the extra money.
No, that's true. But yeah, I'll tell you, a lot of the players are stoked because it's like, yeah, we wanted to go to this bowl game because we get to go to Disneyland for free.
Yeah.
Or like we want to go to the Fiesta Bowl because we get free PlayStation 5s. It's like, yeah,
Damn.
that make me play a bowl game.
Immediately.
Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Washington State versus Fresno State.
Oh.
Interesting one. Fresno State had an up and down season. Overall up, though, I would say. Washington State, kind of same deal, actually. I mean, downer to lose to the
Washington
Huskies.
State wasn't bad.
Cam Ward was fun to watch at times.
I'm going to go with Fresno State.
Oh, you're not back in the pack on this one. Okay.
Not on this one.
You know what? I think you're choosing right. I'm unfortunately going to follow you here, too. Fresno State.
Wow.
I know it's not interesting. I just think it's the way it's going. Let's get into December 28th. We got the Holiday Bowl. We got the Oregon Ducks. Have you heard of them?
No.
Against North Carolina. North Carolina. I'm not quite sure how many, but I can tell you they are an all-offense team. They've actually had some defensive players leave. Not going to play in this bowl game. I think their quarterback, I can't even remember. I think their quarterback may be out too. So, like, and if Bo Nix plays, Bo Nix is going to be pretty dang good. So, who are you thinking here?
Well, I feel like that quarterback missing or not is pretty relevant information. So not to have it is big time because I kind of want to say North Carolina is going to win this thing. But I'm going to back the Ducks because who gives a shit?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I would probably go. Yeah, Drake May. I believe he's leaving. So, yeah, I'm going with the Ducks. We both chose the Ducks, right? Or did you say UNC?
I think UNC, if the quarterback was sticking around, they would probably win. But if he's not there, then we'll win.
Fair enough. Okay, here we go. On to the next one. Washington.
We better
versus
win.
Number 20 Texas. This is in the Alamo Bowl, so obviously a little closer to them. Texas actually is coached by their Washington's old coach, Steve Sarkisian. So I thought that was funny. Who do you think's going to win in the Sark Bowl? Texas or Washington? The two places you have lived.
Wow. In San Antonio, where my sister lives.
Wow.
And also where our new offensive coordinator is from.
Wow.
Let's... You know what? I like Washington. Let's go with them fucking Huskies.
Damn it, Aaron. I'm with you as well. I totally think Washington's going to take this one. I think their offense is a sure enough thing, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. We got to shoot something different. Okay, here we go.
Hey,
December 30th.
That's my bowl of the week, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
Okay.
That's my bowl of the week. Seattle versus Austin. I love it.
That should be a fun one. December 30th, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. UCLA versus Pittsburgh. I don't know much about Pittsburgh except for, I think, Keaton Slovis is their quarterback. I watched some of them.
I've heard that name.
They're pretty fun. Yeah, he used to play for USC back in the day. Aaron, who do you got in this one? I honestly couldn't tell you much about Pittsburgh. Yeah,
I'm
UCLA.
sorry,
They're
who's the
so fun.
Pac-12 team?
UCLA, baby.
UCLA? I'm still in the thing. I can't do it. So I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. Let me check to see if Dorian Thompson-Robinson is playing in this game, because that's going to be a big part.
Has
for
Chip
me.
Kelly retired officially yet?
No, he has not. Says bowl game status. It says it's still to be determined. So we don't know if DTR is going to play. That's going to be a huge factor in this. That being said, you said, yeah, you're back in the Pittsburgh because you will this season. You're anti-UCLA. I'll go with UCLA.
I have a sneaking suspicion. What's his name?
DTR, baby. Dorian Thompson.
I have a sneaking suspicion DTR is going to not have a very good NFL career.
I think he'll be pretty good, but we'll see.
I think he's overhyped.
Fair enough. USC versus number 16 Tulane playing the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Now, Caleb Williams, the quarterback for USC, won the Heisman but lost the Pac-12 championship game against Utah. Aaron, who you got in this one? You got the Heisman winner, or you got a very plucky Tulane, New Orleans-based? Really, really good season for them. The smaller school that has had a fantastic season.
I like Tulane.
Yeah.
But I have to go with those Texas Trojans.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm going with
USC.
the Heisman winner, USC. I think they're
so weird that that's where the Heisman winner came from.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln Riley, their head coach, that is what he's known for, is developing great quarterbacks. He's had, I believe, 2 other Heisman winners there, and others that have been very close to winning it. So, like, he's great at that.
Talk about somebody who's found their calling.
Definitely.
I mean, for real.
And in the Rose Bowl game, the granddaddy of them all, Utah beat USC, which won them this ticket. So once again, they're in the Rose Bowl.
Unbelievable.
Last year was a crazy game against Ohio State in which they lost.
Of course.
This year, it's against a different Big Ten team. It's against Penn State. Penn State versus Utah. I don't know. This is a tough one. Who you got?
I'm going with the Utes.
You're going with the Utes. For fun, this is tough. Because in my head, I want to choose Penn State because that sounds fun. But then that gives us the possibility
of a tie.
Of a tie. Which I think is fine because then we can go into
you're right.
I'm going with Penn. I'm going with Penn State. Just because I think it's fun.
Because, if you lose that other bowl game, I win, period. It's over.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so even if you lose that game and then this one, that hinges on this final game. That's great. Perfect. Love it.
And if it's tied, then we'll do something else. The playoffs, you know? Yeah.
Maybe one of these games we can do a watch along.
That sounds good. We'll figure it out. How about we'll figure it out. I mean, maybe the Duck one. I'll be too busy watching it. I don't know. Maybe the Duck. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do a watch along for the Duck game. Add us at Quack12 Podcast on Twitter if you'd like to let us know. That's a good idea. Give us 5 stars. Yeah,
I was about to say, while you're on your phone and you're adding us and all this, just head over to iTunes, give us 5 stars and a review. That helps us climb the algorithmic ladder so that we can get in front of more people. And then since you're still there, Adam, where should they go?
They should go over to the Quack12 Podcast Patreon and give us $5, baby.
Yeah, baby.
$5 for a measly $5 a month. You get hours and hours of great Duck content and some not so Duck content, but you get that too. Really fun stuff. Yeah.
A half decent 6-pack of beer costs $10. So it's just half the cost of a 6-pack of beer a month. That is nothing.
I'm going to make a commercial that is Sarah McLachlan style, just guilt tripping people into giving us $5.
Yep.
Just you looking sad.
We should do it in the vein of Chris Farley and Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Him wanting to watch your house.
Just let him watch your house. Let the boy watch your house. Come on.
Yeah. Hey.
Anyways. I've been Adam Chamail. Over there.
And I am still Aaron Schroeder.
He's still Aaron Schroeder. We're going to have him in a cage with big puppy dog eyes next time you see him. This has been the Quack12 Podcast. Quack, quack. See y'all next week.
Quack, quack.
Bye.